screaming bullets and empty rooms, or gloomy vaults and sunken tombs, where monks and nuns in dust decay, and shadows dance at close of day. Smacking off is coming at you alive, and that's better than dead, isn't it? Where the bat dips on the wing, and spectral choirs on breezes sing, where swords of ancient battles clash, and shimmering shades for freedom dash. Smacking off is coming at you alive, and that's better than dead, isn't it? Where the bat dips on the wing, and spectral choirs on breezes sing, where swords of ancient battles clash, and shimmering shades for freedom dash. Smacking off is coming at you alive, and that's better than dead, isn't it? Where raging storms at midnight howl, and distant rolls of thunder growl, where the hounds of hell take flight, and ghost clouds race across the night. Smacking off is coming at you alive, and that's better than dead, isn't it? Where silhouettes of spiders weave, and star-crossed lovers take their leave, where curses lay the spirits low, and mortal footsteps fear to go. Smacking off is coming at you alive, and that's better than dead, isn't it? Where death holds life in grim embrace, its lines etched on the sinner's face, where'er the march of time is flaunted, voices cry, this place is haunted.
He would be so scared to see me.
Everybody thinks we was doing this shit, doxing motherfuckers. Nah, they came at us first.
I got a fire raging in my front yard.
Oh, why did you set your front yard on fire? Are you drinking again?
Slacking off the podcast. Fuck your cities are balls. Because fuck authorities. Slacking off the podcast. Fuck your team, dog balls. You call them sports authorities.
Slacking off the podcast.
What's up, guys?
God,
Are you all right?
I'm getting high on my own supply, brother. Woo.
Dr. Balls, we see your lips moving, but I don't hear you. Oh, sorry. Okay, I still see your lips moving, but I don't hear you. Nope. All right, it's the Doug and Dane show. What's going on, Dane? We're having a lot of problems tonight. Ed can't get in. Of course, Ed couldn't get in last week either. Gabe can't get in. He said it doesn't work. I told him you were already here, Dane. Did you have any problems?
I'm using it on Safari on my iPhone.
Right. Did you have any problems getting in?
No, it loaded me right in.
Nope. I can see your lips moving, but I can't hear you, Bob. Well, anyway, I guess we'll talk about this big Wake Forest Clemson game, Dane.
Oh, man. I'm so excited for this one, dude. This is like going to be our Super Bowl.
I think there's, when you go to ESPN and look at the game, and they tell you what all the people that come on there think of the game or whatever, and I think that Wake Forest has 5% chance of winning this game, according to the
Can you
fans.
hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, Dr.
Can you hear me now?
Balls.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh yeah, I had to fix this somehow. Now, what happened to me, guys, is similar to Ed. I had technical difficulties, but unfortunately, they were none of my doing. The Wi-Fi failed at the house, and I have no internet in my house. So what I did is I frantically drove to the top of this mountain nearby my house, where the only self-service is for miles, and I parked here in the dark so the law won't see me while they're cruising around Ford, waiting to hassle hillbillies smoking dope beside the road. And I come up here, and then I got hooked up to you guys, but then you couldn't hear me back. I didn't give up, and there's 3 little dots on the right, and there were settings for microphones and shit like that. So, by God, we're talking.
Well, so far,
high from the mountaintops, baby. I love it.
so far, Ed can't get in, and Gabe cannot get in.
Well, that's a sad day. And Nikki's unable to join us. Sean's on the flight. But you know what, guys? We're smacking off the podcast. Dane's a long-time contributor and member of the show with us and joined us many times. And me and you, Doug, we've done this a lot. So let's have some college football.
Man, I guess the first thing we're going to have to talk about, and I hate it, but it's this big of a fucking deal. I mean, there's people comparing Alabama Vanderbilt to Appalachian State Michigan. I think that's a little much because both teams were Power 5. Alabama, and Vanderbilt's in the same conference. Vanderbilt has beaten Alabama before. Have never beat a number 1 team, but I never thought Alabama was number 1. I don't think it's as big of an upset as App State going to Michigan and winning.
I agree with that. I'd agree with that.
Well,
But App State, though, if you want to look at it truthfully, they've probably got just as many Division One wins as Vanderbilt does.
that's true. That's a true story.
So, but the truth of it is that Vanderbilt guys, let's somebody give them some credit somewhere, and that they played a good football game, the football game of their life, and they
They
just
did.
hit.
Hey,
They
their
hit Alabama on the
quarterback was
bumper.
talking trash before the game, and he backed it up, by God.
And if Bama wanted to win the game, and when they pulled within, I think it was 30-28 Vanderbilt. That was the junction right there, and Vanderbilt said, "Fuck this," and they went straight down the field and scored again. I said right then, I said, Bama's not going to win this game.
Oh yeah, and I was just
Vanderbilt,
mind boggled by it.
they meant fucking business. They had no intentions of losing.
Yeah, they had a plan, brother.
They did.
Now-
Bobby said he prayed to Jesus.
Now we do have Chris Scully running around. He's now picking Vanderbilt to knock off number 1 Texas and to become the first
That's
unranked
not
team
gonna
to knock off 2 number 1s in the same season. Yeah, I know you're right. It's not going to happen. Texas will dribble Vanderbilt down the field. Yeah, and I think Vanderbilt are for real. I think they're pretty good, but they ain't sneaking up on nobody now. It's that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's interesting about them playing Kentucky this weekend is Kentucky ran a system similar to what Vanderbilt is doing when both quarterbacks at Kentucky got hurt. They put in Lynn Bowden. Do y'all remember that, like 2017 season when we had a guy that they made quarterback for 9 games? He ran for 2,000 yards, and that Lynn Bowden, and that's all they did was run that triple option up your gut over and over again with their massive offensive line. Now, Vanderbilt don't even have a line like that. So I'm interested to see what happens between Kentucky and Vanderbilt. Now, I'm not going to talk no shit after they just beat Alabama. But Clark Lee's done a great job there, guys. At least he's got guys believing that you can win at Vanderbilt. And it may be a few more recruits, but, I mean, it's not going to stop from Alabama from getting the CFP.
I don't think the Vanderbilt loss will stop them from getting to the CFP. I think it's the other games they're going to lose is going to get them.
Yeah, well, I think that their defense does match up well with the rest of the teams they got to play in the SEC, though, and the purpose of
Who
the
do you have
defense
left
they have.
on your schedule there?
Who?
Who do y'all got left on your schedule?
Let me pull it up. All right, so we're looking at South Carolina, and South Carolina tomorrow. I think they say Alabama's got a 90% shot at winning this game, and South Carolina 9. I still say South Carolina, if they can figure out how to exploit that defense, Alabama could have problems with South Carolina. If you can have problems at Vanderbilt, you can definitely have problems with South Carolina.
What's interesting about South Carolina?
Yeah, I know you don't want to hear that name, but
Well, the problem with your statement is I've watched every South Carolina game this year, and they're not good on offense. They've got a good defense, but their quarterback's he's not Diego Pavia.
okay. So anyway, South Carolina tomorrow at 11 a.m. Tennessee at Tennessee next. Missouri comes to Tuscaloosa after that. That's the 26th of October. Then there's a bye. Then Bama's going to LSU, and then we're playing Mercer. Then at number 16 Oklahoma, and then they come back home to close the regular season out against Auburn.
All of those games you just named are winnable for Alabama. I would expect Alabama to win all of those.
I think they might
maybe
probably win.
Auburn, because you just never know in that fucking game.
I would say Tennessee is definitely capable of beating Alabama. LSU
capable,
at
yeah,
LSU.
but do you expect it?
Oklahoma's going to be a hard game. Going to Oklahoma and winning is it's going to be tough. Oklahoma will be better by then than they were against Tennessee, I can assure you.
I wonder what Tim Bailey's going to have to say about that.
Oh, he'll pick Oklahoma, I'm sure of it.
I still believe Alabama's more talented and balanced overall than Oklahoma is, and the fact that
100%.
and the fact that they lost at home to Tennessee, which Tennessee, I think the Heupel's tricks are old hat to the SEC now, and he's not scoring 40 and 50 points a game, and not especially so. Therefore, and they damn sure didn't against Oklahoma. So I just don't believe that. I don't believe Oklahoma's going to win that game. Oklahoma's not balanced. They only have one side of the ball, just like you was talking about South Carolina. Now the pass rush at Oklahoma is outstanding. They got a safety that really impressed me. But the South Carolina pass rush is outstanding too. I think it'll be an indicator of what Alabama needs to do when they
Right.
go to OU. So a lot of these SEC games are really just warm up, even though they mean so much. You can't afford to lose them, right? But they're really warm ups. You see, well, I see something in this team. We've got a matchup down the road. They're going to be similar. We can key on this and see where it takes us, and then we'll still have a game plan for it. And then later on, it's not that you plan ahead for the next game; it's that later on that game comes up. You say, "Well, let's look at film on South Carolina. What did they do?" And then I go to South Carolina, their ends are off the hook, and I'm like, "Wow." And so we need some protection. I think the Oklahoma's going to do the same thing. So we need a roll protection that side or whatever it is. And then Milrow, I don't know, Doug, has Milrow been superhuman this year?
I mean, he's looked all right. I don't think definitely not superhuman. Not as superhuman as that 17-year-old receiver.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I'm just seeing my face, Doug. So this is like a Halloween-y kind of season, right?
Yeah.
And I find it interesting that you can only see part of my face because I'm afraid to turn the lights on because the log gets poured around here. And somebody just went by a while ago, and they're cruising down the road and they're creeping. That means they're probably gonna come over and sweat me while I'm doing the podcast. But that's okay because we're in the land, right? Where I'm sitting right now, there's bears, there's mountain lions, there's critters of every sort. And he is creeping me right now. Let's see what he does. See if he comes over here. No, that's somebody else trying to hide. So here's the history. I know you guys have done this in your life, where you rode around the country and you drank, and you try to find places to take women to have sex, or you want to smoke a joint beside a road. Well, this is one of the places, right? That's in the heat, right? You want to come
Oh,
around.
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. So if you want to come around here, so they just turned around. There was a big concert festival on top of this mountain a few months ago. Kid Rock and a bunch of fake country acts, and there's little behind me is like little pull-offs, but they're blocked off now by concrete road barriers. And this guy's exploring every one of them. And I don't know if he's gonna come over here or not, but even if it
He's
ain't the
probably
police,
trying to look for a place to shag there,
oh
brother.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of monkey see, monkey do that goes on in hillbilly land, right? So
Right.
I see this car across the road, and I'm wondering what he's going to do. But it don't look like he think the police would drive. But he's looking for a place to shut her down and smoke up, and I must have inspired him. Of course, he could be a serial killer, and he could be coming over here to gang me. But I might have 45.
That would be a pretty bad day for him there. Dr. Balls gets a hold of you. Look
Oh yeah.
out.
Well, I got 45 reasons why he might want to not want to do that.
Right.
But anyway, guys, so here in the spooky Halloween season, that's a game that's interesting to me is South Carolina against Alabama because, you think on paper that there's no way South Carolina's going to beat Alabama. But then you see what happened last week. You're like, well, hell, this time of year,
Yeah.
anything's possible.
I don't rule out anything. And that Alabama defense, I'm not crazy about this coordinator. And
I've heard quite a few Alabama fans say that.
well, I mean, through the whole game, there was never an adjustment for what Vanderbilt was doing. There was never even an attempt at it. They just kept running the same shit. It's like Alabama just thought it was their birthright to, at some point, to catch up and then just, we've seen Vanderbilt do this kind of shit before, and then eventually the dam breaks and they lose.
Oh,
Well, it didn't happen this time.
There you go. The weight. That's the way the SEC works. Is the weight of the offensive lines and defensive lines always take over. And teams like Vanderbilt and Kentucky, they just get bowled over in the end, even if it was competitive for a couple quarters or something like that. That's why these upsets are such a big deal. Is the weight just almost always takes over, and then they just roll them over, and it like you said, to my astonishment, it didn't happen.
I thought you guys had a chance all the way up until Vanderbilt scored that last time. And I
Oh
was
yeah,
like, there's no way.
It got to the point for me. It was like, if Bama wins, I mean, my mind's always on like, okay, so what am I watching here? This is a donkey balls preview. So at a certain point in the game, I had decided I'm pushing for Bama to be on the donkey balls segment, even if they fucking win this game.
we almost did it for Ohio State. They're the first winner to appear in donkey balls. So not Ohio State, but Georgia, and they earned a spot in donkey balls with their pitiful performance against pitiful Kentucky, who just got crushed by South Carolina. But man, it is just interesting when stuff like this happens, and there's more allowance for it now. There's just 12-team playoff with the NIL and a little bit of parity, or a guy's getting a special dude like Pavia. I mean, we might see more interesting football in the future. I think it's interesting still. The same guys just dominating, ironclad. There's nothing you can do about it. At least, even though it won't really mean anything, teams like Vanderbilt every now and then might catch a little cookie crumble.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a short break, and we'll come right back and start talking about these fucking games.
Go to smackology.42web.io and click our Fans Edge link for instant savings on awesome products.
Hey, hey, here comes a donkey ball. Here they come, here they come. Your team sucks, donkey balls. Bouncing, 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 here they come. Open your mouth and get a big bunch. Suck them, suck them, suck them, suck them, suck them, suck them, suck them.
Watch Your Team Sucks Donkey Balls live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, these sneakers rock. Wait, are you sure that you trust this website? It looks messy and totally unsecured. It looks like a scam. But it's all different if you use ClearVPN, the first effortless VPN solution for a personalized and secure online experience. ClearVPN, the only VPN you need, because it clearly understands you.
You're listening to the Smacking Off the podcast.
All right. Welcome back to Smacking Off the podcast, guys.
Yes. We've got these are the games I stuck on here. I really did make this graphic for you, Dane, because we knew you were coming on the show, and we did not have Clemson Wake Forest on the games of the week list because nobody gives a shit about the game because everybody knows that Clemson's going to win this game.
Right.
Same way with Mississippi State at Georgia, just a fucking pathetic game. Stanford at Notre Dame. Stanford at Notre Dame is a historical great rivalry. Well, I
think
don't know.
Stanford's pretty good, man. They played Clemson pretty good for about 2.5 quarters.
Well, I think 7% of they say that Stanford has a 7% chance of winning this game. So I put it in the same.
I give it more than that.
Missouri going to I'm trying to remember, is Missouri going to UMass?
Goodness. UMass has a football stadium?
I think so. UAB going to Army. Army is 5-0.
Man, what a game, guys. Did you see the scenario where Army and Navy could be undefeated going into their conference championship. Of course,
Yeah, they might have to play twice.
Right. Even if they're not undefeated, if they're both leading, they can play twice for the conference championship. And but they
They
both
would
had to play
play the
Notre Dame,
conference championship game first.
Well,
and then the Army Navy.
I'll tell you what, UAB sucks something fucking fierce.
What happened there?
Huh?
What happened there? Did the coach Bill retire?
Oh yeah, Clark retired several years ago.
Oh, sad day.
Yeah, and they've been going downhill ever since. And now they're in what is it? The American Athletic Conference.
Oh yeah, it's a tough conference.
Yeah, it's not. It hasn't been kind to them. But
Yeah.
anyway, Dane, are you going to give us a prediction on this Clemson Wake Forest game?
Oh my God! Yeah, dude,
I mean, we weren't going to pick on this game, but we're going to let you do it because you're Clemson Dane, man.
I want to say Clemson big, man. Probably
Yeah,
4 or 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be that kind of game. Now, Wake Forest has been decent in the last few years, but
yeah, I really like their coach.
It don't look like it's not rolling for them this year so far.
Yeah, that I think they just don't have the dudes this year.
So that's
they
why
keep
they're not on
losing
donkey
their
balls.
quarterbacks to other programs. That's not a good ingredient for success there.
Yeah, ain't no reason to bring them on donkey balls, Mr. Bob.
No, because there's no expectations. Now, if Clemson was to lose,
you don't want to kick a fucker when they're down.
Nah, if they're already down, unless they suck so bad it's historic, right?
I mean, if you're talking about Tennessee, I'm all for kicking Tennessee when they're down.
Oh, we got to do that. I hope they lose this week. Who's Tennessee playing this week?
I don't know. They lost last week.
I know I'd love to see them lose again. It'd be special.
Well, geez, let me see. Let me just pull the games up. Do I have them on here? Yes, I do. The Gators are going to Knoxville to play Tennessee.
Now, Gators have some kryptonite for Tennessee, right? There's possibilities here. And I have to give a shout out to Nikki. She thinks there's possibilities, but here, I mean, they held the Gators beat them last year. I mean, I'd love to see them beat them again. Now, I can't give you any football reason as to why that Georgia should beat, not Georgia, but why Florida should beat Tennessee. I can't give you a good football reason, Fred. I don't want to lie to you.
But it does happen a lot. It happens a lot.
Yes, absolutely. And we'd like to see it again. And I think really the key is whether or not how much they use Lagway. I think if that guy's obviously their future, I don't know why they don't go to it.
Oh, I agree.
I would just stay with him, win or lose, to see. Now, we got another guy to turn around and up here, and he's he might be running a big fat W. Turn the lights off. Of course, could be the police going to walk over here and see, but our police kind of fat, so they like to, I don't see them walking it far. If I had a donut, maybe, Now we got our own version of Bigfoot called the Ohio Grass Man. You ever heard of that?
If the police comes over, it's going to make one hell of a segment, ain't it?
Oh yeah, I'm really kind of hip to it. And one of the things I love about being a decorated veteran, and a citizen in good standing, is when I get accosted by the police. You know what I'm saying? Since I was a hoodlum in my life. Now, speaking of hoodlums, right? We see that. Wasn't there a Georgia game on that list? Who was going to be at Georgia?
Mississippi State.
No, Mississippi State right now, because of late hooliganism that has went on, like try to have your old lady physically abort the baby by smacking her in the belly and other stuff that Georgia players seem to want to do, right? I really believe we ought to discuss that, right? So if they did lose Michigan State, to Mississippi State.
By the way,
would that be like
I can't believe it's only a misdemeanor. That's absurd.
It's insane, ain't it? They put him under to jail in South Carolina, wouldn't
they? Yeah, that motherfucker would not get out of jail until he went through trial and shit. That's crazy, dude.
South Carolina's the most pro-life state there is. I'm sure of it. And they.
All right, so go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just not wishing good things on Georgia either. I hope it's a scary week for them. I mean, when you got people acting the way that their guys have been acting, I guess it's anything to win if you're Kirby Smart, right? You just get all these hoodlums, you just let them run loose any way you want to, and you have your press conference about it. You kind of try to deflect it. I mean, it's more of the same. We'll have to examine that when we get to the legacy of Kirby Smart now. great he was. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. You're right. It will be talked about. So we already touched on this game, but South Carolina going to Alabama. That's an 11 a.m. kick.
Oh God. Alabama by 50. I expect them boys to come out and show out. You know.
Oh yeah.
I think Bama will win, or maybe I just hope Bama will win. I don't know. But I look for South Carolina to score a little bit because I am not a believer in this defense right now, and so I look for South Carolina to hit the 20 mark. I think Bama probably will hit 40.
That's pretty
Dude,
much
I'm
what
not
I'm saying.
sure that Carolina can do that. Their quarterback can't. He couldn't throw out of a wet paper bag, dude.
Well, I hope you're right.
He's fucking trash, dude. I can't wait till Clemson plays South Carolina. Fuck those guys.
He's a pretty good runner, though. And
He can
really,
run the ball, though, but he's not going to throw it all over Alabama, dude.
I don't think this week he is. That's for sure. Because if I was Alabama, I'd be coming out there ready to hurt people
Oh,
after
yeah.
what happened. All the talk, I'd want to put that right to rest. I'm sure Coach DeBoer is working on them guys, getting them hyped up. And
Oh, yeah. Hair on fire, brother.
yeah, yep, absolutely. And they, so if you're Alabama right now, you still know you got everything ahead of you. I'd be concentrating on that. And South Carolina would be the first step in getting it done. I think it'll be doormats. Hell, I'd say if I had to put a score to it, I'm with you, Doug. Maybe 41-20.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling about it.
Yeah, I think it might be ugly early, but sooner or later, Alabama's going to crash them. Because now, here's why I don't have much confidence in South Carolina. Is most Beamer teams, the special teams are special. But the special teams on this team has been hit and miss. I don't really see a great returner. The kicking game isn't off the hook. I don't think they're going to be able to exploit the fact that they can rush their ends upfield real easy, almost at will against Alabama. And therefore, they won't be able to pin Alabama back. And Alabama will probably win the field position battle at the very least. And I hope that they grind them to powder at the end just to make a statement. Because if Texas wins, we're getting ready to hear so much yapping from Matt Munch online. It'll be off the hook. I want Kentucky to beat Texas so bad. I'd like to hear them guys talk about how they're back so much and they're going to do this, they're going to do that. I mean, sure, I think they got a good football team and Sarkisian's a good coach, but I mean,
I think they've got the best team in the SEC by far this season. From everything that I've seen, Texas is like the most complete team.
I'd say so. They're the most complete overall. But I'm coming this season believing that Alabama had the X factor, which is Milroe. And I really been looking for Milroe to step up and do something special, but he hasn't. I mean, he's been good, but
He's been pretty good, man.
All right, so how about this Red River? I'm calling it the Red River Shootout. Fuck anybody who's got a problem with it.
Hell yeah, brother.
I don't know what to think about it. I think that OU wins games they shouldn't in this series, and you can't discount that.
No, absolutely not.
So it's hard to pick. I mean, on paper, it looks like you should root for Texas, but I'm actually impressed by OU's defense, which is a very recent phenomenon because they haven't had a defense for a long time, and I'm actually impressed by them. And I think that football is a lot about what mood you put people in. Whether or not you smack them in the mouth, get their attention, and I think OU may be capable of that. Now, I don't know what the spread is on this, but I don't know. I believe Oklahoma can keep it close but on the other hand, if they can't score to keep turning the ball over, it can be ugly in Texas' favor. So I don't know how to pick this game other than that OU has been known to win ones they shouldn't.
I think it's going to look a lot like the typical Red River rivalry game in the last 10 years, and I'm looking at. I think Texas wins, but I think it's about a 10-point win. somewhere in that neighborhood. 40 to 30, 45 to 35. It's going to be something like that.
Yep, I can see that. I can totally see that.
Yeah.
Dane?
I think it'll probably be closer than the experts would think, but Texas has got to win this game. I mean,
Now, if you're
on
Texas and
paper,
yours,
they are far and away the better team here. So
if you're Texas and yours don't look good, do you put Manning in?
100%. I mean, he didn't go there to not play. So, I mean, if one guy's not doing it and you got another guy you can try, like in the second half, I would. I think Sarkisian would too.
Hell yeah! In a 12-team playoff, I think you've got a 1 to 2 game error in front of you and still make the playoff if you're a team like Alabama or Texas. And so I'd put all cards on the table. The hell with it.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got a really big game, and this is the USC Trojans who just joined the big, and the Penn State Nittany Lions going to Los Angeles to face them. What do y'all think?
What's Chris Scully got to say about it?
I've got to go with Southern Cal on this one.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Dane. Penn State is favored in this game.
I believe that.
Are they undefeated?
Yeah.
I think they're undefeated.
Yes.
They're 5-0.
And they're a top 10 team right now. But no, going to Los Angeles and beating USC is not going to be easy. And
I can't believe I'm picking USC though. I've been trash talking these.
I just can't. I
just
don't. I don't believe in James Franklin in games like this.
I don't believe in him either. He keeps showing that, when it's really time to win or lose, that really matters. He's always just a little bit deficient, even though I don't know that USC is that great this year, even though they've got a pretty good quarterback. But there's nothing about Penn State. I mean, they seem to have a lot of overall talent, but I don't think that they've got anybody that's a superstar that's going to bowl over USC. And plus, look at the journey, the travel they have to make. So, I mean, you're going to fly there. You got jet lag. And probably, I don't know, they might leave a day or two early or something like that. But it's got to be a pain in the butt. These big long home games travel games. If you're in the Big
Oh
Ten,
yeah, man.
it's going to be a huge pain in the butt.
Dude, Clemson's gonna have to do that in the next couple of years here with Stanford and Cal.
Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting. But that makes them nationwide marquee games, though. So
Yeah, I like it, dude. I like having the West Coast involved.
There you go. So we got a chatter saying that USC defense will not stop Penn State's running game 40-15. Hell yeah, I'm intrigued by that. I think Penn State can win, but they can't make mistakes. They're on the road. USC can score, but they can't stop anybody else either. And Penn State's ability to possess the ball for a long amount of times is in their favor. It's a long road trip. Franklin's proven that he's not consistent in the big games, but USC this year may not be that big a game. Now, if USC loses against Penn State, right? What are we gonna say about Lincoln Riley? He'll definitely have to be on the donkey. Any way it goes, this game will present us with the donkey balls candidate. Wouldn't you agree?
There's no doubt. There is absolutely no doubt. This is definitely a game to watch because the loser is definitely going to be behind one of those doors.
He's going to be behind one of them doors.
I don't know who commented this. Facebook user, it says on my end, says USC defense will not stop Penn's running game.
That's probably Chris Scully. It's got to be Scully. Goddamn it.
He said 40-15.
Shut the fuck up, Scully. God damn it.
I tried to chat back to him, but I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Yeah, I don't see how I can comment back.
So we'll give him a shout out anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so we got
USC
another big
by a field goal.
Okay. Yeah. And who did you have, Bob?
I've got USC 21-20.
Okay. Yeah, I like
Oh, that's a good
USC
score.
by 7 points tops. Okay, so we got another big game here because you know what? The Rutgers Scarlet Knights is what they're called. They're
Yes.
fucking Scarlet. They're like 4-1, man. They're not fucking around.
They're
Shiano's
not
got those
fucking
guys
around.
playing.
Yeah,
He's got them playing.
he's got them
And
back into their prior form. It looks like.
yeah, they're pretty Big Ten for him.
If he can,
Yeah,
if he can recruit that region, I mean, goodness, the possibilities are endless. I mean, I know it's crazy because we're talking about
he's right
Rutgers here.
there in New Jersey, dude. That's big time right there.
Oh, you're
Well, I mean,
talking Philly, New
they're
York
already in
City.
the Big Ten.
Yeah,
So
they
if
got
they
all the
win,
money to throw around, dude.
right. This program is there's possibilities, man. There any team in a power conference.
Yeah,
If you win, you're going places, man. You're going to the playoffs.
100%.
Hell yeah, but just
I
just
think
to
that
win recruiting.
Rutgers probably beats Wisconsin too, man.
Oh
Wisconsin's
yeah, they're not good.
I agree.
They played with USC for a while, but
yeah.
yeah, I like Rutgers at home for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, it's
Uh,
at Rutgers. Okay. Yeah.
how about the All Coast Conference? You ever heard of the All Coast
Oh, that's
Conference?
high flying, brother. High flying ACC action.
We got Cal, which looks pretty fucking good. Now Cal is not a bad team. Headed to undefeated Pitt.
Undefeated Pitt.
Is Pitt real? Is Pitt for real, Dave?
I don't know, dude. I haven't been able to watch all their games, but I mean, statistically, I checked the box scores. They look like they're for real on
No,
paper, but they
no, the
don't play
local news.
these motherfuckers on paper. So
No, the
I
local
don't know.
news out
I've
of West
seen
Virginia is hyping
Cal,
up.
dude. They look exciting. Like I think this game's a toss up. I can't really give you a pick.
Now, Cal,
I
when
mean,
they've lost, it's been tight against good teams.
Oh
You
yeah.
know.
I'm gonna go with Pitt because they're at home. But you're right. This is gonna be a tight fucking game.
Hell yeah, I agree.
Oh, the Fighting
Oh
Nikki,
yeah.
the Fighting Nikki Mazes of Florida head to Knoxville to take on the Volunteers of Tennessee.
Goodness, now you know at
Fuck those
Knoxville,
balls.
fuck them balls, man. Go Gators. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it, but my God, they're going to do it. I can feel it. They need this win, all for Sunbelt Billy. Just give their all and show Tennessee how they can beat them somehow.
I'm gonna put a call in today. I'm gonna put a call in to Landon and see if Landon can talk to his ref buddies and see if we can get this shit done.
Hell yeah, he's got a lot of influence in this world, man. So I'm sure he can help. And now, is Justin Pike still a Tennessee fan, or is he on Georgia or somebody now?
Last time I seen him post in Frenzy, he was saying that Tennessee was going to win the national championship.
That's what I thought. So Nicky can dedicate this win to him because I'm saying go Gators. Fuck the balls.
All right, so this is the biggest game of the day. It really is. The Ohio State Buckeyes heading over to Oregon to play the Ducks. What do we think about this?
I like
Damn.
Ohio State, man. I think they're gonna win.
This is a battle of top fives, man.
No doubt about it. And I think Ohio State is being mildly underrated. Nobody's really talking about them. They're kind of flying under the radar. I mean, even though they're putting up big numbers, and they've got the second best receiver in the country. They say he's the best, and it's just a high flying offense. But I don't have any confidence in Day. The same as I just don't have any confidence in him because it's in the end he hasn't really won anything.
I
And
don't
here at
have
Oregon,
any confidence in him either, but That's why he brought in Chip Kelly, man.
That's true. He's got a lot of talent there to utilize a system like Chip Kelly's, but Oregon's not unfamiliar with that, though.
Well, I know that most people are picking Ohio State here. Well, most of the people I've seen are picking Ohio State. Let's just put it like that. I don't know what most people are picking, but it's man, Oregon at home. I think it's going to be a tough game for the Buckeyes.
I think it is too. And Alex Bride, I'm sure he's picking the Buckeyes. But so if they lose, right, are we going to bring Alex on for donkey balls?
We need to. Yeah, let's just go. We'll make him. We'll put him behind one of the doors. Fuck their coach. We'll put Alex behind the door.
Oh yeah, he's everybody as famous as Ryan Day in those circles, I'm sure. And we're just gonna have to break it off for him, and that's why Oregon has to win this game.
Gonna break it off, just like we're gonna break it off, just like Oregon's gonna break it off right in Buckeyes' ass, right?
That's right. That's what we're gonna see. It's gonna be a whole new world. The Big Ten. Oregon shows their little stuff.
Dane, you going with the Buckeyes?
Yeah, I've unfortunately I've got to go with the Ohio State University.
All right, Bob. For real. Which way you going here?
For real. Haven't seen them both play. I don't think Ohio State has been seriously tested. Oregon wins 41-39.
All right, so I didn't really have a score in mind, but I'll go with 40-38. I just went down 1 point
Y'all
off
are
of
both
off
taking
of your
Oregon.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
I just see the gods of football putting pressure on Ryan Day and the Ohio State alumni not being satisfied. It just come to be like a swarming thing, right?
I'm waiting for this to happen, and we know it's going to happen because Ryan Day always loses somewhere where he shouldn't. And well, I'm not even sure that he should win this game. I mean, this is Battle of Top Fives. He's on the road. This is a long trip. We know what happened last time they met. Oregon won.
That's right. Oregon did win with Bo Nick.
That was in Columbus.
Oh my goodness!
I feel like that's why he went and got Chip Kelly. He's like, all right, bitches, I got something for y'all.
Yeah, but Oregon was playing against Chip Kelly when he was the coach at UCLA. I don't think they're going to show Oregon anything they ain't got all kinds of film on. The only there's going to be a talent upgrade, that's for sure, though.
Oh, yeah.
All right. The Lane train is headed to Baton Rouge to face the LSU Tigers.
Who do you root for in a game like this, you know?
It's a tough one, ain't it?
I got to pull for Ole Miss. I'm pulling for Ole Miss, but I think somehow LSU will pull this one out. Is it a night game?
You know what? I don't have the time on here, but I do believe that it is. Y'all go ahead and talk, and I will pull this up.
Yeah, if you look at this, I mean, between Kiffin and Kelly, I mean, you got Kelly, the fake Cajun, and you got Kiffin, who would sell his soul for a bigger coaching job. I mean, it's just hard to feel righteous and clean to root for either one of these guys today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is a 6:30 Central kickoff. So yes, it is.
If I were going to pull for one of the two, I guess I would. I'd have to go with Coach Kelly, but I don't know. There's something about Lane. I just like it. He likes to troll people and shit.
Oh, yeah.
He's a relatable guy.
He is a relatable guy from that standpoint. And I believe that Ole Miss has great talent on offense and that LSU hasn't really played no defense to Chip Kelly era. And even though it is at LSU, that's what makes it intriguing to me and hard to pick. Yeah. And they, but Kentucky did beat Ole Miss at Ole Miss. So.
Yeah, but LSU's supposed to be one of the top 5 places to play. Like,
especially at night.
Don't know. Yeah, I think LSU's going to find a way to win. I'm pulling for Ole Miss, though.
There you go.
Train. I like Ole Miss by 2 touchdowns. I don't think LSU's very good.
don't think they are either.
I could see that happening. I hope I see that happen.
So we're talking like 42-28 kind of action.
Maybe so,
I'm with that. I'm going to pick that too. Bad as I hate to pick for either one of them, I'm going to pick LSU to win it handily.
All right, so this game is typically not a game of interest. Maybe one of the teams will be good, but Vanderbilt coming off of knocking off number 1 Alabama last week. You've got UK taking Georgia right down to the wire and beating Ole Miss on the road. Vanderbilt at Kentucky.
Now, guys, here's what's interesting about this game is, both these teams aren't expected to do anything, but neither one of them can afford to lose it, right? Especially Kentucky. And it's at Kentucky. And Kentucky structurally is built to beat teams like Vanderbilt with the 3-4 defense that's super solid. You got Deontay Walker, the All-American at nose tackle. You got J.J. Weaver, Derek Jackson. I mean, you got Harrison, the All-American at corner. Decent safeties. On paper, it doesn't look like that there's any way you can pick Vanderbilt to win this game, but haven't been a long time Kentucky fan, and I know all the ways that UK can snatch to defeat from the jaws of victory. It's going to be hard to pick, but I expect UK to win, and I don't think it's going to be much scored. I think it might be crazy, like 21-20 at the most. Maybe
I
like
think
20-17.
Kentucky's gonna do to Vanderbilt what Alabama should have done last week.
I think Vanderbilt will. They're going to be flat. There's no way to win that kind of game and not be distracted in their weak falling practice. I mean, it's they're not going to be on top of their game. I think even if they were on top of their game, I believe that UK would get them. But I think UK gets them by 2 touchdowns, maybe 3.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think it's going to be close.
Well, they should grind them down SEC style, and that's what we're hoping they'll do. And that's what Kentucky has to do to beat Vanderbilt is they have to put their superior defensive line and linebackers and their offensive line and push Vanderbilt around. And if they want to play ugly football and they want to run the option, I believe that's going to play right into UK's hands. But UK is inept on offense at best, even though they've got some talent on the outside like Barry Brown.
Your quarterback's trash juice, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a fact. He's capable of throwing the game away. That's why you can't just come out and land and say, "Oh, we're going to crush them," right? But they're both going to play the same game. That's trying to possess the ball for a long time to keep the other guy from having it. That's why I think it's going to be a low score game. Something like 20-17 UK. I still see Cats win it.
I think your defense will get some turnovers for scores and shit. It's going to be I don't know. I don't see Vanderbilt continuing to win. I think they're about to come back down to earth real quick.
Okay, guys. So are we still calling the Big 12 the Big 12?
Sure.
How many fucking teams are in the Big 12?
Did they just add somebody?
I think they did.
Well, I mean that they added a bunch of teams right after Texas and Oklahoma announced they were leaving. But did they add a new team or something? I know BYU's there. I know BYU is there. Houston, Cincinnati.
Where is Gonzaga going? They're going in the Pac-12.
Yes, but they're not for football. They don't have a football team.
Well, they said in all sports. They made it a thing to make sure they said it that way. Maybe they're going to try to get a football team.
That's interesting. I'd like to see them try it and see how that works out. I mean, it's not like starting a Division I college basketball program from scratch like Bellarmine, where you only need 12 or 13 guys. But
right,
I mean, it's going to be tough to do, and they'd be a doormat. But they might want that revenue. If they can get her 9, that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Dude,
so
I hope the Pac-12 is able to find a way to survive.
Well, I mean, they've already got new teams. They're going to survive. Now, will they be a power conference? I don't know about that, but they're definitely still going to be here.
I'd like to see them do it like the way the ACC was for so many years before we started just absorbing the old Big East. Like with the 9-team model or something, like a small conference.
Yeah, I can see that. And in their case, the
They're
old
off to a
contract.
good start, man. They got Boise in there. I like it.
There you go. And they also the old TV contract is still in effect right now, so
Right.
that's going to give them a little boost going into new negotiations, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, so back to the Big 12 real quick. Iowa State, which I don't know where they rank in the Big 12, but they are a top 15 team, are headed
I
to
like
West Virginia.
I like Iowa State to win. I don't
Oh, me
really
too.
Fuck it.
think too highly of West Virginia this year.
Fuck it, I'm going with Iowa State too.
Iowa State's going to crush them. I think it's going to be utter embarrassment, disappointment, and right there in Neyland Stadium or whatever they call the one up there. What was his name? Anyway,
Neil Brown.
no, I'm talking about the stadium area. It's named after one of their coaches, the one from the '90s that went undefeated and didn't win the Natty.
Don Neyland.
Rich Rodriguez.
Yes, Don Neyland. Yes.
Yeah, it was Don Neyland.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. I didn't want to be the same as Tennessee's. It was inhibiting my speech, right? Even though I knew these things, right? Because I didn't want to give him credit to Tennessee because they
You
sound
was
the
wanting to
same.
say General. You was wanting to say General Neyland.
Yes, and I just didn't want to do it. I couldn't help myself even getting close to it.
Yeah, I got you. All right, staying in the mighty Big 12. We've got Kansas State going to Colorado, which is an interesting game just because of Coach Prime, right?
I think it'd be entertaining anyway. I mean, he's got a couple great players, and Colorado's pretty interesting in general. Their whole style is fun to watch when they're winning, and we're still. I think Kansas State's a legitimate team though. They can beat Colorado at home.
Well, no, they're playing in Colorado.
That's what I'm saying. They can Colorado be at home is what I'm saying. I
Oh
think
yeah.
they can beat Colorado at their home is probably was a better way to say it. And
Yeah, I agree.
I'd like to see it too because I love all the controversy I can get. And it's not that I'm against Coach Prime; it's just that he talks so much smack that whenever you lose, it has great fodder for guys like me to talk smack. They say you smoke talking balls.
I mean, he's a highly entertaining guy. He was a great player.
Yes,
but he is not going to be a power. He's not going to be a highly successful power college football coach, in my opinion.
That what his son's
I
on.
think he could. I think he could, but I don't see him doing it at Colorado.
I don't know. I'm with Bob, and Bob said he put this into words one time. He said that Prime is not willing to do what it takes to build a great program. So,
right.
For him to actually become a great power conference football coach, I think he's going to have to get at a place that's established, and he don't have to lay that groundwork down. And I don't know if he. All right, so
if he could go to like Florida State or something, but at this point, I wouldn't say Florida State's got the groundwork.
No, you're right. You're right.
For him to do it at Florida State, which I believe is highly possible, but it's only possible one way, is if he hires a staff and trusts them, right, to do what they got to do, and the right staff, right. So if he brought in the
not
right
a bunch
staff,
of fucking random
guys
ex-NFL
are in his
players.
entourage kind of deals, right?
Yeah.
He's got to get real coordinators that really know what they're doing. And I think he could rule recruiting in Florida in the end because, a lot of the guys I knew down in South Florida, they loved a flashy guy that had a whole lot, and it would be a big deal.
Went there, dude. I mean, it would be something so epic for Dion to be coaching at Florida State.
So that's what we're going to find out.
Could be the perfect thing, man. Like,
it would be.
You know what I'm saying? If I was FSU, I would certainly be considering firing Norvell. What is their record? 1-6?
1-5, 1-6. Man, you just made a whole great epiphany for me there, Dane. You brought it all on play. So Shedeur Sanders goes to the NFL, right? Dion quits Colorado and replaces Norvell at Florida State. That's the future, guys. The Swami has seen it.
It would be something, man. I would love to see that shit.
It'd bring a lot of attention to Florida State anyway, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
obviously, you can recruit at Florida State even if you're a straight coach like Norvell, that's a straight ahead football coach. Where Dion's more that he's an icon at Florida State. He's an icon in American pop culture because he was one of the greatest players and smack talkers that ever been. So, am I
yeah.
saying he'd do anything at Florida State? Maybe, but only if he hires the right people ready. But would they do it at Florida State? I believe yes, they would in order to make a splash.
He needs to let me be his agent.
It would definitely make it. It would definitely make a splash.
That'll be
Dude,
huge.
that would be so awesome, man. I think he's kind of like earned his dues there at Colorado too. I mean, they haven't been great, but I mean, they look a hell of a lot better than before he was their coach.
Hallelujah.
All right, so we've got Boise, which is a future Pac-6. Is that right? Let's call it the Pac-6 because they have 6 teams.
Yeah.
And we've got Hawaii sitting here with a few phone calls. It could be the Pac-7 with Hawaii, and this could be a fucking conference game.
Dude, I would love to see that.
I would too. That'd be real interesting. Hawaii's had decent football.
I don't know why you don't call Hawaii because geographically they fit, and this is it's a great
Who the hell doesn't want to go chill in Hawaii for?
It's a great location. I was going to say great program. It's not really a great program, but they've had moments.
Yeah.
June Jones,
Is June Jones back there? I know that he did go back for a minute, but I haven't really kept up with him. Is he their coach again?
I don't know if he is or not, but he did a good job. He did have a lot better as a coach there than he did as a coach in the NFL. That's for sure. And but and the coach as the Falcons, he was the utter failure at the Falcons.
Please don't. Let's not. We don't have to talk about that.
I threw that out there for Sean Devine in case he was listening for a minute, but no, I think you're right about that. Hawaii should join the Pac-7, making the Pac-7, and Boise State's got a Heisman candidate, guys. The running back Johnson, he's a bad MFer. He's actually stat-wise per game over the last few Heisman running backs that played, and online to equal stats of people like Barry Sanders.
Yeah, dude. He's
I definitely can't pick against
great
Boise
numbers. I think that guy beats Hawaii by himself.
That's what I'm thinking. Only if he gets 200 yards, you know how rare it is to get 200 yards in a game and lose.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
I think it's Jaunty, Jeanty. Yeah,
I didn't want to fuck it up.
You know, I was going to do it like French Huguenot style or Huguenot style from up your way. You know, that's why I went Jaunty.
Yeah.
And I thought him very interesting, though. Makes me think back to. Do you remember the South Carolina Kentucky game where Mo Williams ran for 338 yards and Kentucky lost?
Yeah.
That's when they had Davian Clowney. And, of course, I don't think that's going to happen this game. I believe Boise State's significantly better than Hawaii, and they'll be well rested from their beach trip. You know.
Oh yeah.
So I'm trying to remember. Does the Huskies play anybody this week? I feel like they play Iowa, but I really can't find it. I'm looking for it.
My Mac was really down on Iowa. She even agreed with me that they should have been on donkey balls.
Yeah, we would have if anybody gave a fuck, right?
That's right. We could have brought her up and somebody gave a fuck.
You know what? Let's make it a point to bring them on soon. Yeah, Washington is going to Iowa, and that is an 11 a.m. kick, and that's going to be on Fox for anybody who wants to watch this shit.
Dude, this is really just an action-packed weekend. Is there games going on right now?
Yeah.
You know, I believe there is. Let me see what's going on here.
UNLV is blowing out Utah State right now. Second quarter is 24-7.
Northwestern is beating Maryland 17-7 at the beginning of the second half.
I wouldn't have guessed that. I think Loxley's done a really good job in Maryland.
And later tonight, we've got the Utah Utes. Fucking Ute. The goddamn Ute.
10:30. We got
going
some,
to the Sun Devils of Arizona State.
Pac-12 at night.
Yep. Not anymore.
Even though, neither one of them are in the Pac-12 anymore.
Yeah. This is Big 12 at night.
Big 12 at night.
I'm sad that we didn't have anybody on the podcast today that was like real aggressively shitty, because I had a joke lined up for them, and I'm gonna have to spring at a later time, right? That
hey, Dane, act shitty real quick and give Bob a chance to use this joke.
What?
No, never mind. He's a fellow paratrooper. I could, if he gave me hell, I just feel like it was what I deserved. You know what I'm saying? No, but I did find a good one, right? And I'll give you all a hint for the future when I roll it out. It's about the planets, right?
Oh, God.
So, anyway, you know what? I'm just excited about the Washington Iowa game, Doug, because we've got fans here at both. We got the dog father. We got the Miss Mack Truck, and they both love their respective teams. And Iowa is cold, miserable, windy this time of year. Have I ever told you about my experiences in Iowa and how much it sucks?
Bob, how the hell did we miss that? This week we could have had the Dogfather and Mack Truck on.
I know that would have been fantastic. It would have been awesome. It would have been all the requirements, but we could yet do that. We can talk about the game and let them talk about it. We might have a special.
Dude, there's some other good games too that we didn't touch on.
Let's talk about them.
Louisville, Virginia, the Fighting Tony Elliots. They have a pretty good record so far. I think they're 4-0 or 4-1 or 5-0, something like that.
Yeah, and there's a really shitty Purdue team going to a decent Illinois team.
There you go.
Fresno
is playing Washington State. That should be a pretty good one.
You got the Rambling Wreck of Georgia Tech going to North Carolina.
Yep. I think they'll crush them utterly.
Memphis,
North Carolina,
South Florida.
Oh,
South Florida has a pretty good defense sometimes.
You know what just dawned on me, guys? Boise State could be the Group of 5 contender for the college football playoff.
Absolutely. It looks like BYU could get in.
Yes, they both don't they play each other?
I don't know, but Arizona goes to BYU.
Can we get more than one in the playoff?
More than one Group of 5?
If Boise State wins out, and
it's going to be difficult, Shane. It's going to be difficult, Dane, because they've got it all set up. Like I don't believe in auto births. They've got that shit going on. It's going to be difficult because these power conferences are going to. They've got it sewed up, I believe. I believe they're going to do one.
Okay, so just hear me out. Say Army goes undefeated and they beat Navy twice. And Boise State, have they already lost the game? Or are they still undefeated?
I believe they're undefeated.
They're undefeated.
Do they play each other?
They used to play each other. Boise State and Utah played each other every year there for a while, and I was curious if that was going to happen again.
Okay, so Boise has lost.
Oh,
Boise lost at Oregon, 37-34. It was a competitive game, so that's the kind of loss that could actually help you in your resume.
That's right.
Good you're 11-1. Quality loss.
Absolutely. On the road, and they almost fucking pull it off. I mean, that's good shit.
Well, if Oregon beats Ohio State this week, that really helps their case even more.
Mm-hmm. True.
There you go. That'd be awesome. It'd be exciting and new, like the Love Boat.
I
It
don't know,
would.
man. Like I've said before this season, I see all these teams really. The only team in the SEC I feel has a legitimate shot of going undefeated is Texas. So,
How many
but I
undefeated
mean,
teams do we have in the SEC? I think that Texas is the only one left, ain't they?
I said everybody was gonna have 2 or 3 losses. So,
I believe everybody has at least one loss except Texas.
it's
Yes.
lining up. It's lining up. Everybody's gonna be losing here soon in the SEC. So,
I mean, don't
I
y'all want
I
to talk?
feel
Don't
like
y'all
these
don't y'all want to
wins
talk
have
about
to count for
Minnesota?
something.
Don't you guys want to talk about Minnesota at UCLA?
Goodness. Oh wow, what a barn burner.
Yeah,
I'm just brimming with the and I'm looking at Paul Bearer over here, and he's on up a little. Is that the little brown jug from the Minnesota game?
it should
Oh,
be. If it's
it
not,
should be. Could be my spit too from back when I used to dip Copenhagen as a kid. You know how I quit Copenhagen, Doug? It's
what?
it's I had the
They
sexiest
started
girl
cooking
in my whole
crack
school
in the
tell me that.
cans.
Yeah, that's what's. Oh yeah, well, you still got used, but she's one of the sexiest girls of my childhood or my teenage years come to me and tell me, said, Bobby, there's no way I'm ever going to kiss you with that nastiness in your mouth.
Oh my god!
So what would you do at that point, guys?
They did it. You had to quit.
I'm
You had to quit cold
spitting
turkey,
that
didn't you?
shit right on out.
Yeah, man, no, man, absolutely. But yeah, I'm with you on. I'm with you guys on that game. It's got all the excitement of like cold molasses. You know what I'm saying? And I don't.
Hey,
They
hold on now. Let's not forget the All Coast Conference here. Syracuse at NC State.
that's
Ooh,
interesting.
I'd
Catch
probably
Syracuse
go
put
with
away from their own
Syracuse
home
on
base.
that one. That quarterback that Syracuse has is all right.
They had a
If
couple
y'all
big wins.
if y'all want to dig a little deeper, we've got Texas San Antonio, the Roadrunners going to Rice.
Goodness. I like to pick up Texas San Antonio on that one. Oh, since we're looking for crazy games, who's Marshall playing this week?
Marshall is playing Georgia Southern.
Oh, what a traditional football game. Now,
That's a
if
big one.
what if the group of five ever breaks off and starts their own TV thing? So let's just say theoretically that college football gets so big on the college football playoff era that everything becomes pay, right? And it becomes more like a semi-pro kind of league and stuff like that. And people still want traditional football. That'll be the kind of games you'll actually be able to get for free. Though I got to applaud ABC because I had solid football. If I would have wanted to watch solid football rabbit ears last weekend from 11 in the morning till midnight, I could have done it on ABC. So I'm going to give them some credit. And Fox was just a little like one game less than them. So theoretically, if you had rabbit ears and good reception, you could have watched 12 hours of football for free, 13 hours of football for free last weekend.
I watch a lot of games with Rabbit Ears still.
Now you've got
Anything on ABC.
now you
I
notice that the
stream
HD.
everything. I need to go get one of these fucking.
Absolutely, yeah, and I get a good signal there on the ABC affiliate here, and yeah, it's really good. It's the best picture. It's better than anything you can get on cable.
Absolutely, it's got way more resolution than anything available from the cable company or any streaming service, and a lot of people don't know that. And when you get the Notre Dame game on NBC, Doug, look at that one at 1920 by 1480, right?
Yep.
No way, dude.
Yeah, and it's for free. That's what a lot of people don't get is the reason HDTV exists is not so about a big nice flat screen. It's because people in rural areas got shitty TV. So if you've got a real antenna, you got a real picture in digital. So I'm a big fan of it.
Oh
So
wow, dude. So I
we
just
can't.
pulled up the Northwestern game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, they're fucking shredding Maryland's defense. Just throwing deep ball. Oh, dude dropped it. He was wide open. Quarterback put it right in the breadbasket.
What
All
was
right,
that video?
so
Man.
we can't end the podcast without at least bringing this one up, man. We've got the Washington State from the Pac-2 going up against the Fresno State Bulldogs. God damn it! And
Well,
that's a
Jake
six.
Fields, Jay Fields is a Fresno State fan, so we got to
Dude.
bring Fresno State here.
So my old lady lived in Fresno for a long time. I went and visited a few years back, and dude, I walked around in their stadium. It's really nice down there. Beautiful. The campus is surrounded by vineyards. It's a lovely place, man. I'd like to see Fresno win that.
The vineyards of it's like let a white oak decorate your home. Y'all ever heard that song?
I have.
Dude,
Yeah.
That's who is that?
have its own wine.
George Jones.
I don't think George Jones is in that. I think it's Lefty Frizzell. No, so David Frizzell and Dottie West's sister, Shelly
Oh
West.
yeah, I think you're right about that. You know, I was thinking of another George Jones song where your first home becomes your second, or your second home becomes your first, and then he had a duet with Tammy Wynette where she slows down the song and starts talking against this hit music. She goes, and outside my window, there's a little neon sign blinking that says "bar."
Did y'all watch the George Jones miniseries about George and Tammy?
I'd love to see that.
Oh, that was excellent, man. Y'all look that up. I'm trying to remember what it was on. I think it was on Hulu, maybe Netflix. I don't remember. I'll look
people
it up.
think there's drama.
I'll
People
find
think,
it. What was
people
it
think there's
called?
drama today. You know, when I was a kid, that was real drama. George Jones and Tammy Wynette in my childhood was real drama, guys.
Man, that was some shit, man. That guy had a fucking drinking problem. Like, I mean, he makes people with drinking problems feel pretty good about themselves. Watching those fucking...
I feel great, Doug. Thank you.
But anyway, fuck you guys. I'm going home.
All righty, great show, guys.
Great show for a man. Hey, this was the Three Stooges version, man. Tonight.
Oh yeah, dude.
We all played our part. Later.
The planet.
Thank you for supporting Smacking Off the Podcast. Make sure to stream in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for an all-new live cast.